Hi LEGO fans, we have a bonus micro build for you today. This is set number 30449, the Milano. With how many pieces, Megan?
64.
Just 64 pieces, and that doesn't seem like a high piece count until you realise this is a freebie. This is our current offer at the LEGO store or online at shop.lego.com. If you spend $35 or up, you will get this free Milano. We've actually got a few of these. In fact, I'm using one to prop up the bag here, and we've got another one, and we've actually got 4 because we spend way too much money at the LEGO store. Yeah, this is a nice little set. I really like the Milano. This is actually a ship based on the M ship from the Ravagers in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And this is, of course, to commemorate the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 movie, which is in cinemas now. So let's go ahead. We're going to open this up and see how our mini Milano looks. Cool. So let's see what we get inside the bag first of all. And obviously not going to be a lot here. There we go. Okay, we've got some Lego and another little bag here. Cool, let's build this. We've actually got some nice elements here. We've got a little hull element. I was kind of hoping we might have some kind of cockpit element. Oh, there we go. Wow, that's tiny. Yeah, that's the, I guess the windshield from the Milano. So let's have a look at these instructions. Yeah, this isn't going to take very long. Okay, so start off with the base of the ship, and there we go. That goes on like so. Then we've got these elements. There we are, 2 of those, and those join together with a 2x1. I put that on the front. Then we've got 2, oh no, we've got a single blue kind of ship element. Oh no, I'm missing a piece. There we go. Must pay attention to the instructions. And then we've got this blue piece that goes on the front there. And then a couple of these at the back. That's a great colour. Okay, I'm missing a step here. So I'm going to put 2 of these on the sides. It's amazing somehow how these smaller sets can trip you up. You get very confident and forget to actually look at the instructions, because of course it's not listing out the parts that you need like a normal Lego set. It's more like the old traditional sets where they just show you the changes that are happening within the stages. Okay, so that's that. Do we look the same? Yes, we do. Okay, cool. Let's pop on the back. Okay, then we've got one of these pieces with a disc and a grey stud on top. I guess that's going to be our engine at the back of the ship. Cool. So then we've got 2 of these. We need these pieces here. Excellent. That's that, and that's that. Okay, so these then, I see these attach like so. Cool. That probably gives us some direction, so we can use these flaps to maneuver the ship. Okay, let's spin that around and back again. So now we're going to put on these triangular side pieces. There's some nice elements in this for a free set. And then we've got one of these longer pieces here. Okay, then we've got some more wing pieces. Is that the right way round? Yes, it is. And then the opposite on the other side. And we're going to put this orange piece across. Okay, we've got this nice azure blue stud. Yeah, that's right. Cool. Let's pull that in. Then I think we have a couple of pieces here. So it's going to go on there. And we should have another one of those. There it is. And then we have this. Yeah, that's an interesting piece. I like that. Almost looks like the end of a brick separator. And then we have the white 2x2. That's interesting. There's actually a typo in the instructions. So you see here it's told us to put on the blue azure stud. And then in this next part of the instructions, it's actually disappeared. It's not there. What are you thinking, LEGO? Okay, no wonder they're having to give these away for free. Okay, so now this is where it gets confusing, because let me put that fits okay. But in this step here, I see the so the azure blue stud is actually in the wrong place. That's where I'm going to put the thing. But if you see on this later shot, they've moved the azure blue stud to a different location. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off for now. Okay. I didn't realise this was going to be a test. Okay. So put that on there. Oh, that's neat. I like the way that fits on top of these two studs here. Gives it a very nice flush finish. Okay, then we've got the window here. Put that in, and then there we go. Okay, so this can't be the engine because it's at the front of the ship, but it's still very neat. Okay, we're going to have to do this twice, so let's find the pieces. 2 round pieces, and then these thinner round pieces with the hole in the top. And then we've got these 2 blue Technic pieces. And then we've got another couple of Technic pieces here. I think these are going to be the booster engines at the back of the ship. So let's put those on there. A little bit tricky. We'll get it. Oh yeah, these are tricky. Okay, let's put that back together, and hopefully this one goes in a little bit easier. It does now. Yeah, we've nailed it. Okay, so those are the booster engines at the back of the ship. That's pretty cool, and those can pivot down, which is quite nice. I would imagine that would help it to sit nicely for display purposes. Let's line those back up and keep my OCD happy. Then we've got 2 of these pieces here. These are slightly unusual. Usually when I see these elements, they have 4 of these kind of balls around the outside. I've not seen one with 3 before. Always nice to get new stuff. Let's put those on. Okay, and then those are going to go on the side of the ship just here. Like so. Okay, now we need to put some flaps on the ship. Oh, I see these attached to these things here. And those just snap into place. And these are going to be the wing tips, which helps the Milano to maneuver. We'll do the same again on the other side. Yep, facing that way, I think. Oh, moving around a bit. Okay, there we go. So now what we can do is we can angle these wing tips so it looks like the full size Milano. Yeah, we've got another one hiding down there, and like so. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Great, and now we can put some additional elements on. Here we go, we're getting more of this great blue colour. Those can go on like so, and then we've got a grey one for the central position, and we've got a blue one on the bottom there, and that's not the right one. Let's Just make sure we're getting this the right way round. I think that is correct. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. Cool, so let's do the same on the other side. Okay. Just seeing we've got some longer pieces here, just checking that I wasn't meant to be using those. Okay, and then we pivot that down so we can get on the bottom one. Awesome. Yeah, very good. Okay, so then we've got the final wing assemblies here. We're going to take one of these pieces and I see what that's, okay, yeah. So it's going to go on like that and like that, and these are going to form the front of the ship. So let's see if we can get those on. Yes, and those are going to go on these side pieces here. And oh, I see, actually these don't move. So there's not an interactive part here. That's just purely so we can hopefully get these pieces to stick. Oh, and that's not going to stick. Okay. So where might we have gone wrong? Unless we just need to come forward a little bit more. Yes, there we go. So these come forward and they do pivot out slightly, but I think the idea is that we have them together like that. And then finally, I think I'm right in saying that we have this piece here. In fact, let's have a look at the bag and make sure we're exactly as this thing should be. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. And we do get a spare one of those. We've actually got 3 spare pieces. We've got the blue Azure stud, another one of these Technic pieces, and then one of these pieces which we used on the nose cone at the front of the ship. So that's very cool. And that, if we put these aside, is our Mini Milano. So let's compare it to its big brother. Cool, so here is the Mini Milano alongside the Maxi Milano, I guess we could call it. This is the Milano from set number 76081, the Milano versus the Abilisk, which is another Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Lego set. And if you haven't already done so, please go check out my review. I'll put a link on screen, probably around here now. So as you can see, the Mini Milano is actually quite a nice representation of its bigger brother. It is to about 1/3 of the scale of the largest ship, and we could lay easily 3 of these alongside each other on top of the ship. And yeah, there are some details on here which have been nicely replicated from the main ship. We have these wingtips here on the big Milano, which are replicated on the Mini Milano. And we also have this element here, this is a stickered piece with the azure blue panel in there, and that is what we're trying to do here with the azure blue 1x1 round stud. So I do think this is a nice representation of the Milano. It was a fun build to put together, certainly proposed us with some challenges, shall we say. And yeah, I do like this. Now, I mentioned earlier that the Milano is actually a customised Ravager M ship, which belongs to Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord. And we can compare the Mini Milano here to the M ship. This is actually the M ship from set number 76079 Ravager Attack, and this is Taserface's M ship. And as you can see, it has a great deal of similarity in terms of the shape of the ship and the cockpit piece. Obviously, this is a less detailed representation, but yeah, I do think we can see that the Milano does bear some similarities to the M ship. And to give you a sense of scale of the Mini Milano, here it is with all the gang. These are all of the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 core minifigures, and these guys are awesome. You can see these minifigures in my other reviews of the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 sets, and I'm going to put a link to the playlist on screen now. I hope you enjoyed this mini build today. If you did, please hit the like button down below. We release awesome new LEGO content at least twice a week, so don't forget to subscribe for more. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you on the next review video.